Hey y'all, it's BDC. Thanks for stopping by. Today we are doing Empyrion Galactic Survival, and this is going to be a video on the Oberth class CV that I made. It's an update video, and ostensibly for 1.5, assuming that everything goes well. Anywho, this ship is the largest vessel. I think it's probably the largest object I've made in Empyrion to date. And I built this ship in September 2018, I believe it was. So at the time of the recording of this video, it's a little over 2.5 years ago. It took me 6 days to build, and then I think 1 day to fix. So as far as like moving objects around and flight testing it and and field testing it in space, all that kind of stuff like that. But I'm not going to go too much into the construction on this, as I like to focus more on the update stuff. But just a quick thing about this, for those that are watching that have never seen this. This is a ship that's inspired from Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock. It was 1983 or something, a really long time ago. And in that movie, it was a science vessel, and there's another Vulcan on it, and I can't remember all of it. But it gets blown up in the movie. So this one hopefully doesn't get blown up in gameplay. But I like the design of the ship. I like the shape of it and everything. And there were enough pictures, photos up there on the internet where I was able to get it built and scaled and all that kind of stuff like that. I did take some liberties on it. Again, I'm not going to dive too much into this, but I did take some liberties. So if you can compare this to the actual ship in the movie, you'll notice some subtle differences. Anyway, some of the stuff I've done on this since I built it originally is I fixed some of the block work that was done at the front portion of the ship down here in the engineering deck, because I don't know what else to call it. And that was only because one of the updates from a while back added many more block shapes, so I was able to get some of this horizontal to that, curved parts reconciled smoothly and flush, and actually make it work. Let's see. One of the things I did was I reworked the massive boosters thrusters, and a little bit of block rework in there as well. But it's to accommodate basically these guys. One note, when the ship was built originally, there was no such thing as thruster compliance, and now it seems to be a bit more of a thing. I think it's still something that can be it can be toggled there, let's just put it that way. It can be toggled on and off on a server, kind of like weights and volumes. It was not thruster compliant, and it still isn't. It would require a massive rework of the warp nacelles, which aren't really warp in this, of course, but because I have auxiliary thrusters sitting in there and some other things like that, it's just not workable. I'd have to hack up so much of the ship to do it. But anyway, I reworked these main booster thrusters to accommodate for higher gravity. I had taken this out on an actual server, a public server, and I had spawned it in, did the resources, waited overnight for it to cook in the blueprint factory, the whole 9 yards. And then when I went to a higher G planet, the thing started falling like a rock, and I struggled to get the ship off of it. So one of the things I did during redesign was to amp those boosters up. Now they're a little bit more of an emergency type thing, and they consume a lot of fuel and whatever, but they do help the ship quite a bit in being able to handle those kinds of situations. So this CV is a multi-role ship. It's intended for I don't know, whatever, I think a crew of 5 or something. There's 5 or 6 seats in this thing. A few of them are up in the bridge. So it's kind of meant to be an all-arounder, not a specific combat ship, whatever. So I tried to stay within that theme in all the updates I was doing, looking for things to improve that wasn't specific to any one particular role, if that makes sense. So cosmetic work done up here, probably some retexturing done for the 2 SV landing pads up here. And I cannot recall if the original ship had the tier 1 or the tier 2 repair block, but there's a tier 2 one in there. The only downside to that, since it's limited to 1, is you can't get an HV up there for ship repairs. But any smaller SV, I think a class size class 5 or 6 can sit on these pads, and probably, if you turn it 90 degrees, sit on that thing and get fixed in the repair thing. Let's see. Let's go inside, actually. So let me shut God mode off and do this. A few cosmetic things. The O2 and medical stations in the upper deck here. They used to be 2x1s, and that was a block change that was done a while back. Let's see. A few box changes back in there. The promenade is mostly unchanged, other than perhaps some texture type things. There was a few things like that where I found little errors or problems here and there with color or wrong texture stuff I missed on the initial pass through of it. A little bit of dress up here, the bench, the seat. I did a lot of aesthetics changes as far as the signs and stuff to make it a little bit more sci-fi-ish and, you know, I don't know, kind of fit more of the theme that I was going for here. No real major rework of the hydroponics bay, aka the plant nursery grow room. Probably some block fixes here and there, but it's still fully functional and has the same number of pads and everything. One thing I did rework was the armory over here. Now this is a section where you can come in here and stash a bunch of your extra weapons that you looted, or just have an extra. I mean, it's effectively just an armory. You know, just keep all your extra crafted stuff in there that you take with you. I changed these up to standard cargo boxes because weapons and ammo hardly take any space at all. It used to be a little bit messier. Then I tried doing the one big cargo box thing. I don't know. It just didn't kind of turn out well for me, so I'll end up reworking all of this. Still kept the same motion sensor to activate the repair stations thing, since that thing consumes a ton of fuel. Up here, no real changes in the mess or the forward observation deck. It's pretty much all the same. The medical area over here, I guess you want to call it sick bay, according to the sign right here, or infirmary or whatever. Since the O2 station, medical station, went from 2x1s to 1x1s, I was able to turn those and stand them upright. And move some stuff around to take better advantage of the space, the real estate that I have in here. Still have a storage box for any medical items, medical kits, decontamination stuff, whatever. One thing I did add was a teleporter. And the teleporter can be activated in the control panel over here in the custom power section. You just flip it on and off right there. It consumes a ton of power, so I made a switch specifically for it. So, let's see, that's going to be it for the promenade. Yeah, some cosmetic changes with doors, things like that. I want to say I toned down, rather, some of the interior lighting. The interior lighting in this game, the initial light that you have is a bright white, and a lot of ships and bases that are built out there tend to be really bright on the inside. So one of the things I did is I went to the softer white, which is like a light gray, and then I intensify that. It's kind of a more calm color, but it still illuminates. So if it's dark, you can still see where you're going, but it's not right in front of your face, blinding your eyes. A few cosmetic changes and fixes in here. Nothing real major. I relocated spotlights to make them a little bit more accurate to the original ship. Here, let's darken the outside here, and we'll take them on. So, let's see if I can remember where they are. There they are. There's our spotlights. So, we have one at the bridge, and that lights up the NCT, 11.8 or whatever. I think I kept most of the spotlights out here pretty much the same. So, when the ship is parked on the ground, it really lights up the ground around it pretty well, in case you have a an away team or whatever it would be. But anywho, that's pretty much the same. Let's see, let's go poke around here. So clean up stuff in the captain's private quarters here, and then the ready room. I think there were a couple of things that I had wrong texturing. There was some other stuff that I fixed on here, but it's virtually the same. That's just a decoration room anyway. It doesn't really do anything. Let's see, down below, this is the stairwell that doesn't actually really exist in the original ship, but the original ship doesn't have this midsection, so they have these separate sections separated by these, I guess you call them support pylons or whatever they are. And so that's one major change that's different on this ship versus the original in the movie, because it was impractical. I mean, if you think about it, how were they moving around from the upper deck to the engineering deck or the lower deck? Would they have to transport back and forth, or did they have little things where they went down those side pylons? I don't know. But texture fixtures in here. In this section, the core's in there, and it's been reinforced and reworked externally around it. I've added a shield generator in here, so this guy's got, let's see if I can go find it here real quick. Actually, I may have to go into the, okay, there we go. Yeah, so I added a shield generator down there, and so that's been updated. The original ship didn't have it. I don't even think it was in the game at that point, to be honest with y'all. So a couple of cosmetic changes I did in here to accommodate the changes of the O2 station, the medical bay. I don't know, just kind of dress this up a little bit. Foot locker boxes, all that stuff is virtually the same, and some cleanup stuff. As far as the armaments on the ship, I don't believe I changed any of them. I think I'd kept them the same, and I looked at doing everything on it. I looked at all those, but I think that what I had originally worked okay. The only thing I think I might have updated at one point were the straight fire rockets. They're supposed to kind of act like torpedoes, right? You know, to follow that theme. And some of that block rework was just because of the reverse booster thrusters there that I needed. So I wound up having to change a couple of things around on that. But otherwise, it's virtually unchanged. I removed a lot of the very small thrusters that were ostensibly used for, you know, this kind of thing, you know, roll and pitch control and stuff like that. There are several of them that are removed. If you see these little metal shutter grates, these metal grates over, those are indicative of where thrusters are, and they're meant to protect them from fire. A little bit of block rework for primary reverse thrusters, same with the primary pusher thrusters, the primary lift thrusters as well. Some of it's cosmetic, but again, some of it is also trying to keep in mind any kind of fire that goes its way. I want to keep the thrusters from being damaged if possible. So let's shut these guys off. And let's see, what else? Anything else I redid on here? Over in the engineering section, actually. So let's just fast travel down there real quick. There you can see the shield Jenny and the I think that was a detector block. Reworked storage for both ammo and actual main cargo storage, and I increased this pretty significantly. If I remember correctly, it was 180,000 storage units. Now it's about 50% larger, so the boat will carry a lot more stuff than it used to. Let's see. Cargo storage for the 4 constructors, I remember redoing this too, so it could hold a lot more volumes, actually be a little bit more efficient. Let's see, no changes made to armor mods. Location, the generators remain the same, and they're behind heavy glass and all combat steel and all that stuff. And I want to say, since I built it, I slightly increased the overall fuel and overall O2 capacity. But it already had quite a bit to begin with. This thing holds a massive amount of oxygen in it, and a good chunk of fuel inside of it. And let's see. Other than that, cosmetic changes, a few things. The whole point of retooling and regearing the ship was to try and help better the needs of more diverse conditions that she would be used in actual real survival gameplay. The shield being one, obviously, since it was a new thing. The thruster rework to make it more efficient on lifting and takeoff and all that kind of stuff like that. Let's kick the primaries on real quick. That should take us up in the air. There we go. Try to give it a little bit better control with roll and yaw and pitch and stuff like that. Even though it is a CV, it's fat and heavy. You know, it's only going to perform so well. It's not intended to, you know, act like a fighter. And let's see. Don't really think I did much else on it. That's pretty much about it. So I thought it was a pretty good rework. I spent a good several hours doing things on it and then retesting it in a creative game in survival under higher gravity and more harsh conditions and what have you. So I think overall it's been a very good improvement over the original design. Looks virtually the same, but you know, like I said, has kind of a, you know, a wider range of capabilities, you know, that I can do. Anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I need to remember to put the blueprint for that ship down in the comment section down below. I've neglected that last couple of videos I've done. And speaking of which, comments, questions, put them down below. Like and sub if you would, please. And I'll see you guys in the next video.